G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am featuring a piece from Seagull Watch Company. So this is the box that this particular piece comes in, and it's pretty cool because look at that art there. It's actually, I think, a double tourbillon, and that would be a pretty awesome movement to behold. I don't have a tourbillon in here, but that's just a nice art on top of that box there. So cardboard box. And then internally, there's a bit of felt up the top here, which is nice protection. That's the watch there. And I just want to show you the manual briefly. So Seagull since 1955, no pretense about how old they are. They are not that old. So just a bit about the company. I'll let you pause and read this if you want. Okay, I'm not gonna obviously read through all that. And just that little bit of introduction to the company there. So pretty cool. And you can see it's a multi-caliber manual. So the caliber in here is actually the 1612, but you can see how much it actually does cover throughout there. Okay, so a little bit of basic stuff, maintenance, common sense. I like the wording there. Just some basic things, just advice, and then some notices, special advice there. And then a bit of instruction about how to use the deployment class and all that. And then that's the actual caliber. That's it. One page of instruction, and that's all you really need. I think most of us probably wouldn't even look at that because it's just a three-hander. You don't need any more than that. And then it moves on to the next calibers. All right, so just very basic, and I'll just get the watch out now and let's just show it to you guys. So guys, over here we have the Seagull M187S, and that's really what it is, M187S, nothing more fancy than that, but this is obviously a dress style automatic watch. That's what this is, and Seagull really only make mechanical watches. This I don't think is currently under production anymore, at least no information I can find indicates that it is under current production, but based on what I can find, the estimated price of acquisition was about 120 USD. If I discover any new links, I will put it down the bottom in the description here in terms of product sources. The movement in here, so let's just talk about the movement, is none other than the Seagull ST16. Okay, so it's a 21600 beat per hour movement, and I'll put the stats of the movement down the left side of the screen there. The quick set date in this case is actually a cutout window. So down at the 6 o'clock position is an extended date window that you can see there in an arch. And then the rest of it, stats that you can see on the left, accuracy rating is actually unknown. I cannot find any information on how much this is supposed to be rated, how accurate it's meant to be performing. But in use over the last 2 weeks is about plus 15 seconds per day is what this is running. Okay, so that's the movement. Now let's just go into the case details here. So the case is a 38.5 millimeter diameter case. Okay, so kind of dress style size there. Thickness is 11.8 to the top of the dome glass there, 11.8 millimeters. And the lug width here is 20 millimeters, which you might argue slightly disproportionately large, but I think it's okay for 20 millimeters in this size. Lug to lug distance between my thumbs there is 46 millimeters on this watch. The overall weight is pretty light, as you might expect. It is only 62 grams. So kind of some of the Casio light watches I have are around that weight, and this certainly is very easy to forget on your wrist if you wear it. Comfortable, lightweight is what this is. Okay, moving on to the finishing then. The finishing, as you see me pan it around, you probably already noticed it is 100% polished surfaces. There is not a single intended brush surface on this entire watch here. It does have step lugs. You can see there's a step on the finishing of the, or the crafting of the lug there with kind of this screw head end there, right? There's a screw end on the ends of the lugs there. And that's most of the case detail. The case back, as you can see, is polished, and it's not a screw down case back. It's actually secured by 6 screws in those positions that you can see there. So there's a kind of small screw heads that you can see. So it's secured by those 6 screws. The display case back with a push crown. Now this is lightly signed with a S there for Seagull. Not sure if that's going to come through on the camera here, but there is a sign S on there in this crown, which is, I guess, a onion shape, you might call that. Okay, and so with those features, the overall water rating is 30 meters for the water resistance rating on this watch, which is, I think absolutely standard for a dress watch without any additional water ratings. All right, now guys, let's just move on to the dial where a lot of the action is here. So this dial, guys, is multi-textured. If you can look at it through these macro shots and the camera here, in the middle section there is Clou de Paris. So those kind of like cross-hatch little pyramids there that might be difficult to see on camera, but that's really what Clou de Paris is. There are two rectangles in that section with the text there, and it just has Seagull and automatic, and that's really kind of nice and elegant. I don't mind that that's all it says. In fact, I quite like it. The next ring out is circular azurage, where those Roman numeral indices are printed. Okay, that's the next ring out. Of course, that's that cut out extended date window at the 6 o'clock position. And then there is a slight, very small ribbon, which is kind of like a tramline ribbon between the hour indices and the next ring out, which is again azurage, where the chapter ring dots are printed. Okay, so nice details on the dial. There are quite a few different finishing surfaces, and that's really where a lot of the action on this watch is. Right, the hands are alpha hands, like I think that's what you would call this, lance or alpha hands. They're blued steel. I don't know what the blue process is, and I can't find any information on that. I suspect it's not going to be a one of the more expensive methods, but they're definitely a blue steel hands there. And there's a stick second hand with a tip. Hopefully you can appreciate on the shots here that is actually slightly down curved to probably accommodate the glass. There's no lume whatsoever on this watch, which is which is fine. I don't mind that in a ostensibly dress style watch like this one. On top of all that is domed mineral glass. That's really what that is. Okay, similar at the back, that would be mineral glass there. All right, so that's the description of the case. Now, moving on to the band. The band is just a black stitch, genuine leather with crocodile pattern strap here. That's really what this is. And a simple steel buckle with the word Seagull on it. That's really all that is. Nothing much more than that, but it's reasonable. For this price range, for this suppleness of this band, I don't mind it at all. It's actually pretty good for this price range, I reckon. Okay, that's the entire description of the watch. Let's just put it on for the wrist shot. And there it is, guys, the Seagull 187S. Okay, it's dress style watch on my 17 centimeter wrist. Of course, this is going to be fitting for almost anyone's wrist, any men's wrist, I would think, because it is only 46 high and a 38.5 millimeter diameter case there. All right, very, very decent dressed appearance on the leather strap. Okay guys, so that's really the entire description of this watch. Now, what have I particularly enjoyed about this Seagull offering? Look, I think it is actually a nicely done dress style piece. It's got some really great dial details. I really enjoy looking at this dial. Similar to that Raymond Weil piece I reviewed a while back, that Raymond Weil Maestro. A lot of action and detail and finishing on the dial there. The blue hands are a pretty nice bonus, and overall it's just got this confident style. It's not ostensibly copying anybody else. It's I think really their own design, and it's a very confident, comfortable dress piece. And I really like how at the bottom here it's got China made. Nothing to be ashamed about that. Most people wouldn't kind of flag that around as a sense of pride, but Seagull probably, of all companies, have a kind of a confidence to do that in a way that isn't, it doesn't look weird, I don't mind that at all. What are the things that I will note about this watch, in terms of concerns or cons? Well, I really don't think there's much to complain about. I think that extended date window is a bit of love and hate. They can be polarizing. Not everybody likes extended date windows like that, particularly on a dress watch. Personally, I probably just prefer non-extended, just a simple square, either at a 6 or 3 o'clock. I don't mind. So that's something that probably, if you ask me to prefer something, I would go for simple date window. So it's not a universally loved feature. And then the other thing I would say that this is a domed mineral crystal, mineral glass, and it's going to attract scratches over time. A sapphire would be a very nice bonus, but I think that might be asking for a bit much at this price from a company like Seagull. So guys, there we have it. Just my very quick review of this piece, the Seagull M187S. Let me know your thoughts if you in fact own this watch or one of its variations. I would certainly like to hear your thoughts on this. So guys, if you enjoy my videos, do consider subscribing. I put out new content every week, always aiming to be objective and unbiased about all things horology. Thank you again for sticking with me, and as always, I'll catch you guys next time.